And we'll go on the agenda, which is to review the November 2020 minutes. They are very long, 2 pages full of minutes. So I'll give everybody just, let's see, what time is it now? It's 8:08. Give everybody 2 minutes just to glance through the minutes. You can find them on Community Board 11's website. In the minutes section, you'll be able to find them there. And then I'll make a motion to vote on the minutes. All right, so we'll get Veronica just joined us, so we'll call in for a motion to approve November 2020 Ethics Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Thank you, Veronica. And since it's hard to see everybody here, we'll go with any objections. Anyone abstaining? All right, the motion passes unanimously. And we'll move on to item 2 on the agenda, which is FOIL procedures. So we noticed that we had some challenges with FOIL. A lot of us weren't familiar with it, to include myself, up until the summer, until we got the FOIL 101 handbook, or whatever it's called, from the BP's office. So I think Jeremy has forwarded it to all the staff and the board members. That was as a result of one of the outcome of our investigation. That was one of the recommendations. But we do need some sort of FOIL procedures. Right now, we don't have any, other than the guidance that we have from the BP's office. But the guidance just tells us how we respond to FOIL procedures. But we need an intake process. and I believe, having a form online that, just like the complaint form, if someone wants to make a FOIL, they can just go online, get the form, submit it, and then it works that way. And I think it can be submitted um, to either, I'm not sure, maybe the district manager, the staff, or maybe the chairman of the board, and then it trickles down from there. What does everybody think about that?
It's good.
I agree.
I agree.
It's a very good idea.
Hey, I absolutely, yeah, I think we definitely need a procedure. We need an intake form. But it's, obviously it's not limited just the intake form. The intake form allows us to better process the FOIL. So definitely, I believe we should have one.
Okay. Now, where do we get started? I mean, we created a complaint form, and that took a couple of months. So, with a FOIL procedures form, who would be able to maybe take on that task, provide us with a draft, a draft form or intake form, and then we go on from there. We can discuss it during next month's meeting. Is
So-
anyone capable of taking that task?
Yeah, so Jeremy, I'm sorry, yeah, I'll do that. I'll set up a form and maybe even have a form online. I'll send you a draft of it and we can discuss it. I'll send it to the team before even our next meeting so we can review it. The other thing is we can do that. We can do the form and then maybe something on our community board site that says if you are foiling, please in your email for your file, put these a criteria for information that we need, perimeters on how to do that. So we will have two places where people can go, one, the form and fill it out, or if they are going to send us an email requesting a FOIL, what information we would need in order to accommodate that FOIL. So I'll work on that. I'll send you something.
Okay, good point. Like you said, maybe it would be challenging for some to print out the form or go upload it or fill it out that way. But if we have all the necessary information, we can proceed with it that way. So good point.
Yep.
Thank you for taking on that task. If you can get us a draft, a foundation, get us started, and then we'll build on it. It might take us a few months to, get it perfected and get it ready to be published.
Yep. No problem. I'll get it out to you guys.
All right, so that was item number 2. Item number 3 is to review of public complaints. We do have one outstanding complaint that we need to discuss tonight. And before we go to that, we'll skip that for now. And before we go to the gallery session, the old business that I have, I went online to check to see if the new complaint form was uploaded, the one that has the numbers, or the one that, but it's not on there yet. So I'll speak to Jeremy tomorrow to see if we can have it uploaded, because we still have the old form online. That's the only old business that I can think of. Does anyone else have any old business before we go to the gallery session? I'm just jumping around in the.
Nope.
So,
Okay. I didn't hear anything. Okay, so then we'll go to the gallery session. We have, let me just double check again, the participant list. We do have 2 members of the public, Ms. Delgado and Mr. Press. I see Mr. Press has raised his hand, so Mr. Press, go ahead, please.
I'll let Ms. Delgado go first if she wants to. Hearing nothing, I'll go then. Okay, having been a member of a community board for 6 years in various positions and having filed FOIL requests, it's a freedom of information request. It does not have a standard form and can be different information requested. It should be addressed though to the board chair because the board chair is the head of the board. I don't know how you guys want to do it. It could be requesting anything from a vote count, which should be the votes of resolution should be included by who voted for what and what the total is. Okay, and that is also at the committee level, that the votes should be by who voted for what. And so this could be information requested if a person wanted to know how people voted on a resolution. That could be a foil. And I'll just, let it go at that, having, like I said, having submitted foils myself to several different boards and other agencies.
All right, good input. Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public?
Yes, please. Roxanne Delgado. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what? Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if you could hear me. Okay. I do have a few concerns with the last full vote on those complaints made by me. When the full board went on executive session and they returned from that session, they didn't bother to notify me that the session was, that the full board was resumed to the public view. And I viewed the recording and someone stated, well, this meeting is recorded so she could watch the recording, but that's not how open meeting law conveys the law that when the board calls executive session and the reason why, when the executive session ends and the public meeting commences, they must notify those in attendance that the public meeting is open again. So I felt that was incorrect to do so. Even though the meeting is recorded, I think that and I actually waited that night to be notified, and I was not notified. And when I viewed the video a few weeks later, because the DM puts the video like 3 weeks later, it was clearly stated that they were not going to notify me that I could watch the recording. Regarding the fall requests, those requests should usually go to the staff because they're paid, that's their job. The community board has basically two functions. It's both administrative. Their function is to make sure meetings are convened according to the city charter, open meetings law, and by your own bylaws. And they're also required to maintain records for public view. So that's a staff because they pay to do that. I don't expect volunteers to do so. I mean, I know for this committee it's different because this committee is supposed to be independent of the staff. So I understand you. I'm sorry, what?
No,
Hello?
my Zoom froze. I thought I lost everybody. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay, no worries. I understand that this committee is different. So you respond to the full requests for your committee, but for the other committees, that should be addressed by the staff because they're paid to do so. And also regarding minutes, in other committee boards, staff are paid and they do transcribe the minutes, not the committee board members. So I don't understand why the staff is not doing that. And I do have complaints. Regarding my complaints, I was concerned that during executive session, when people were discussing my complaints at the full board meeting, that the DM, who was the person I made complaints against, had free range to respond and make statements that were incorrect, and I was not available to respond to that because he stated that one of the reasons why it was a technology issue that he didn't post the number access to these meetings. That's incorrect. It has nothing to do with technology. All he has to do is include it in the agenda or post it in emails, but he refused to do so for nine months, despite the fact that it's in violation of the ADA and it prevents people who don't have access to technology or don't have the ability to do so. And I thought that was unfair. And there's other issues which I can address by email. I don't need to go on. But and the second thing, I do have an issue with the social media because, again, the district manager went to post something about me on social media, and I had to make a complaint about that because I blocked him months ago, and he still he's still tracking my comments on Facebook, which is bizarre. But anyhow, I am concerned the fact that one of my complaints was ignored because I posted the wrong link, but no one notified me that the link was incorrect until I reviewed my complaints, and I noticed that I posted a wrong link to that complaint, and I notified you by email, and then you responded that it will be reviewed at a later date because the links were incorrect. So anyhow, that's it. Thank you.
And I'm just gonna respond to a couple of things with regards to the executive session. Jeremy was not in the executive session. Um, the Naomi Pemberton became the host of that meeting, and Jeremy was not in that meeting. So that's one. The second thing is one of the staff members was assigned to contact you. We were very, very clear with that. So if they did not contact you, I apologize. I think I also asked later on, after you informed me that you were not contacted, who was in charge of contacting you. And I think I was told Harriet or Chris was in charge, but they didn't contact you. So that is an issue. It shouldn't happen again. But like I said, I apologize about it. We'll try to get it right next time. With regards to the social media, the policy was sent out, and we did send a reminder just recently regarding the social media policy, and it's the New York City social media policy, and we're going to use that as guidance. So that's all I'll say on that. Anything you want to add, Ms. Delgado? Do you want to respond to any of that?
Yes, I'd like to clarify, please, regarding the district manager not being in the executive session. Yes, I understood that. But after the executive session ended and you the committee board members were taking a vote, and there seemed to be a discussion with the district manager saying that the reason why those call-in options were not provided was a technology issue, which is excuse my language, which is BS. But nonetheless, I don't think he should have been allowed to speak during when the committee boards were taking a vote on each of the complaints. I thought that was unfair. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, that didn't change our motion. Our motion still was there, you know. Again, he was part of the meeting because it did become public again. He wanted to clarify something, so he had the opportunity to clarify something. If his clarification ended up in changing anything, I would agree with you that it would seem to be unfair since you're not there to clarify it further. So that's all I'll say on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's go back to the agenda, make sure I didn't forget anything. New business. Do we have any new business? Okay, I don't hear anyone with new business. So again, we will go into executive session. This is just following the handbook that's on the community board's website page. I believe it's 29, open meeting law, because we will be discussing something that could lead to, we are discussing something reference a staff member. So with that being said, let's go back to the list of participants. I'm going to ask Ms. Delgado to remain on the line. And Mr. Press, I'm going to ask, I can either put you in a waiting room or you can sign off because you're the only member of the public at this time.
I will say good night and hope you do well. Have a good night.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Stay safe. All right, so he has signed off. Right now we have myself, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Delgado, Ellie, Naomi, and Veronica. Okay, so it's currently 8:27 p.m. I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session.
Second,
Seconded by Ellie. Thank you. Anyone objecting? Any abstentions? Okay, I will pause the recording because I want to do this right, because I ended up last time stopping the recording, then I had to merge two recordings together, which took some time. So I'm just going to pause the recording at this time. All right, the recording is now continuing. It is currently 8:56 p.m. We have exited executive session. And we completed most of the items on the agenda. Ms. Delgado, are you on with us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, so reference the complaint that was submitted in September, reference the incident on July 3rd of 2020 with the FOIL request that was submitted on July 3rd for emails from the Parks Department between May 13th and July 2nd. We have determined that the complaint was, even though it wasn't specifically addressed, that in general, that it was addressed in the previous motion, which led to an email or the FOIL procedures being sent to staff and board members. So that we'll consider this complaint closed because it was previously addressed. Again, we are continuing to work at this, and once we have a FOIL procedure form, we will get much better at what we're doing and the FOIL procedures. So just give us some time, please be patient. And if you have any further complaints, you can submit them online via the form. We will try to get the updated form soon, so we won't be able to call, we won't call you by name, we'll just use the complaint number. Do you have anything to, Ms. Delgado?
Yes, but again, this is not towards any of the community board members. This is towards the specific person, the district manager, and he's quite aware of FOIL and the fact that he knows that he violates FOIL by notifying people that I'm foiling specifically their emails, which is not only not true, but also causes issues, is a problem. And the fact that it's not being addressed because it's a vague where all staff and members will be advised of FOIL. I mean,
No?
this is specifically your district manager, and he again disregarded a recent FOIL request. Hello?
Yep. We did hear you, and again,
Wow.
we believe the FOIL procedure is being forwarded,
All right, so
and
now we know.
everyone reminded of it.
Now we know.
We will get.
Didn't we
that.
say something,
Hold
this
on
was
one
coming
second.
from somewhere?
I think someone
We
is
called it, right? We called it.
John, please.
trying to
Wait,
figure out who's hot. Okay, so all right, so if any incidents occur, have occurred after November, after we pass those motions, they would be addressed differently because the email has been sent out. Everybody's aware of the FOIL procedures, so it will be handled differently, Ms. Delgado.
Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty fair, and I appreciate that. Okay.
Anyone else from the committee would like to add to anything? Did I miss anything?
I believe you covered it.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
you're fine.
All right, perfect. Then what time is it? It is 9 p.m. We do not need a motion to adjourn in a committee. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we adjourn? All right, thank you, Naomi, for taking the minutes. I appreciate the hard work that everybody in this committee does. And lastly, I also wanted on record to nominate John Johnson to be the chair of the Ethics Committee.
Second.
Mr. Johnson, do you accept?
I
You thought I was
accept.
going to forget. Okay.
Yeah, I know,
all
right? Damn
All right, 'cause
it.
it's
I
been a
accept.
couple of months. Okay. All right. I'm glad you didn't change your mind over the holidays. So.
No.
All right. So I will speak to Al and we'll get the staff going and hopefully you'll be leading this committee in the right direction. You have a lot of good people on this committee and it's only going to get better as we get more experience with it. Thank you all.
Looking forward to it.
That was by unanimous consent.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night all.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Good one. Bye-bye.
Wow, wow.
Bye.